Good morning. Good morning. It is an amazing Thursday. Happy Thursday. Man, look at how pretty it is outside. Man, it's gorgeous outside. If you get a chance, slide open a window, um, get ready, get your laptop together, get ready to get started with class today. We're so excited about all that we're going to do today. This is week 2, day 2, Thursday, September 10th, 2020. Let's go ahead and get started with our pledge. I am smart. I am gifted. I am a learner. I am a scholar. I am preparing now for my future. I am the main ingredient in my success. Every lesson won't be easy. Every concept won't be learned the first time. I may get frustrated, but I won't give up and I won't quit. I will try. I will strive. I will thrive. I will achieve. I will succeed. For I am an example of excellence. Clap one time. All right. Today we are going to begin our first unit of study, Unit 1, in the 6th grade. Are you ready? We're about to jump in it, both feet in. And Unit 1 deals with rational numbers. So here is our objective: to understand that positive and negative numbers are used together to describe quantities having opposite directions or values. We're going to use positive and negative numbers to represent quantities in real world contexts, explaining the meaning of zero in each situation. Explaining the meaning of zero in each situation. So let's define some terms. What is an integer? Integer. Anybody know an integer? Yes, an integer is a whole number, either positive or negative. It is a whole number. It is not a fraction. An integer is a whole number. What about absolute value? Is that a term that you know? Absolute value. Take a moment and think about it. I would say turn to your neighbor and discuss it, but put some suggestions in the chat. Yes. So the absolute value is the magnitude, the weight, the worth of the number, regardless of whether it has a positive or negative sign to it. It is the weight, the value of a number, regardless of a positive or negative sign. So both 4 and -4 have the same value of 4, absolute value of 4. Okay? What is a negative number? What is a negative number? Awesome. A negative number is a number, whole number, whose value is less than 0. Less than 0. Wow, y'all are so amazing. What about 0? What is 0? 0 is a number that has no value. It is also seen as an origin number, a number of origin, a baseline number. What about positive? What's a positive number? Think about it. All right, put the answers in the chat. Exactly. A positive number is a number greater than, that has a value greater than 0. Horizontal number line. You'd have to know that word horizontal. Horizontal. What is a horizontal number line? Think about that word horizontal. Yes, a horizontal number line is a number line that goes from right to left. From right to left. Let's see. So horizontal goes from right to left. That is not very straight. Let me erase. So a horizontal number line would go from right to left or from left to right. What about a vertical number line? So if a horizontal number line went from left to right, what would a vertical number line look like? So we said this is horizontal. So vertical would go what? Up and down. Vertical. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Well, let's push this because it seems like y'all have a great handle so far. Let's look at some examples. Some examples of a vertical number line using positive and negative numbers. If you heard that a location was 25 degrees below sea level or 25 feet below sea level, if you heard something was 25 feet below sea level, not degrees, let's go 25 feet below sea level. If you heard something was 25 feet below sea level, how could you write that? What's another way to write 25 feet below sea level? Okay. Good, good. We could write it as negative 25. Now, if we write negative 25 feet, what would 25 feet above sea level look like? "25 feet above sea level, what would that look like?" Great job. That would be a positive 25. So what number would be designated by sea level? If 25 feet below sea level is negative 25, and 25 feet above sea level is positive 25, what number would represent sea level? Great job. So sea level is equal to 0. Now, based on that, which number line would be the best suited to demonstrate below and above sea level? Below and above sea level. Awesome thinking. I think a vertical one would do it as well. So if we had a vertical number line, then this would represent sea level. And we would go up here. That would be what? 25 feet, representing above sea level. And then down here, we could represent 25 feet negative, which would represent below sea level. Awesome job. Awesome job. Okay. Let's go back to our, what about with money? Let's think about negatives with money. Let's say you and your best friend went to Pizza Hut. You went to Pizza Hut and ordered a pizza. The pizza cost $17 because you ordered two. And you were supposed to go in half with your best friend. So your best friend ended up paying $17 and you owe her half. Half of 17 is $8.50. You owe your friend $8.50. How could you write the fact that you owe $8.50 to your friend? How could you write that? So the total was $17. My best friend paid her portion plus my portion. Her portion was $8.50. My portion was $8.50. But that means I didn't pay my part. So that means I owe my best friend $8.50, which means I'm negative $8.50. So I'm negative $8.50 because my best friend paid my $8.50 plus her $8.50. So what does 0 represent in this? I'll get back to 0, good answer, once I pay my 50 cents. So 0 is me not owing at all. Okay. Might not have been a good example. Let me see if I can give you a better example. A better example. And I want this to be a horizontal example. Horizontal example. A good horizontal example is football. Think about football. This is the end zone. This is the other end zone. Let's say this here is the line of scrimmage. So if a team gains yards, a gain of 15 yards, that is positive. But if by chance they lose 20 yards, now they have a loss of 5 yards. So a loss of 5 yards is the equivalent of negative 5 yards. Now, the reality is it's really negative 20 yards because that's the total yards they lost. But in this case, the line of scrimmage represents 0. So anything left of 0 is negative. So the only thing left of 0 is this 5 yards. That's another way to look at it. Another way to look at it. So today, we're going to continue thinking about this by reviewing or introducing ourselves today to Clever. We're going to practice in clever.com by going in, logging into Clever, logging into Mr. Bradford's classroom, and then logging into the Khan Academy section of Clever. It's going to link you to Khan Academy. And in Khan Academy, you're going to have some activities that are going to be due on Friday night. But I wanted to pause and just let you watch a little of this video, because this is the video that will start off your Khan Academy assignments. And if you see this video, you'll know you're in the right place. So we're going to watch this video.
In this video, I want to familiarize ourselves with negative numbers and also learn a bit of how do we add and subtract them. And when you first encounter them, they look like
Let's listen to it from the beginning.
In this video, I want to familiarize ourselves with negative numbers and also learn a bit of how do we add and subtract them. And when you first encounter them, they look like this deep and mysterious thing. When we first count things, we're counting positive numbers. What does a negative number even mean? But when we think about it, you probably have encountered negative numbers in your everyday life. And let me just give you a few examples. So before actually I give the example, the general idea is a negative number is any number less than 0. Less than 0. And if that sounds strange and abstract to you, let's just think about it in a couple of different contexts. If we're measuring the temperature, and it could be in Celsius or Fahrenheit, let's just say we're measuring it in Celsius. And so let me draw a little scale that we can measure the temperature on. And so let's say that this is 0 degrees Celsius. That is 1 degree Celsius, 2 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Celsius. Now, let's say that it's a pretty chilly day and it's currently 3 degrees Celsius. And someone who predicts the future tells you that it is going to get 4 degrees colder the next day. So how cold will it be? How can you represent that coldness? Well, if it only got 1 degree colder, we would be at 2 degrees. But we know we have to go 4 degrees colder. If we got 2 degrees colder, we would be at 1 degree. If we got 3 degrees colder, we would be at 0. But 3 isn't enough. We have to get 4 degrees colder. So we actually have to go 1 more below 0. We have to go 1 more below 0. And that 1 below 0, we call that -1. We call that -1. And so you can kind of see that the number line, as you go to the right of 0 on the number line, it increases in positive values. As you go to the left of the number line, you're going to have -1. Then you're going to have -2. You're going to have -3. And you're going to have, depending on how you think about it, you're going to have larger negative numbers, but I want to make it very clear. -3 is less than -1. -3, there is less heat in the air than -1. It is colder. There's less temperature there. So so let me just make it very clear. -100 is much smaller than 1, or sorry, much smaller than -1. You might look at 100 and you might look at 1 and your gut reaction is say, wow, 100 is a much larger number than 1. But when you think about it, -100 means there's a lack of something. -100, if it's -100 degrees, there's a lack of heat. So there's much less heat here than if we had -1. Let me give you another example. Let's say in my bank account today, I have $10. Let me do this in a new color. So let's say today I have $10. Now let's say I go out there because I feel good about my $10, and let's say I go and spend. Let's say I go out there and I spend $30. And for the sake of argument, let's say I have a very flexible bank, one that lets me spend more money than I have, and these actually exist. So I spend $30. So what's my bank account going to look like? So let me draw a number line here. And you might already have an intuitive response. I will owe the bank some money. So let me write this over here. So tomorrow, what is my bank account? So you might immediately say, look, if I have $10 and I spend $30, there's $20 that had to come from someplace. And that $20 is coming from the bank. So I'm going to owe the bank $20. And so in my bank account, to show how much I have, I could say 10 minus 30 is actually -$20. So in my bank account tomorrow, I am going to have negative $20. So if I say I have -$20, that means that I owe the bank. I don't even have it. Not only do I have nothing, I owe something. It's going in reverse. Here I have something to spend. No one owes, if to some degree, if my $10 is in my bank account, means the bank owes me $10. I have $10 that I can use to go spend. Now all of a sudden I owe the bank. I've gone the other direction. And if we use a number line here, it should hopefully make a little bit of sense. So that is 0. I'm starting off with $10. I'm starting off with $10, and spending $30 means I'm moving 30 spaces to the left. So if I move 10 spaces to the left, if I only spend $10, I'll be back at 0. If I spend another $10, I'll be at -10. If I spend another $10 after that, I will be at negative 20. So each of these distances, I spent $10, I'd be at 0. Another $10, I'd be at negative 10. Another $10, I would be at negative 20. And this whole distance right here is how much I spent. I spent $30. So the general idea, when you spend or if you subtract, or if we're getting colder, you would move to the left of the number line. The numbers would get smaller. And we now know they can get smaller than 0. They can go to negative 1, negative 2. They can even go to negative 1.5, negative 1.6. You're getting more and more negative the more you lose. If you're adding, if I go and get my paycheck, I will move to the right of the number line. To the right of the number line. Now with that out of the way, let's just do a couple of more pure math problems and just think about what it means if we were to say, let's say 3 minus 4. So once again, this is exactly the situation that we did here with the temperature. We're starting at 3 and we're subtracting 4. So we're going to move 4 to the left. We go 1, 2,
3, 4. So that gets us to
negative 1. And when you're starting to do this, so you really understand what a negative number means, I really encourage you to visualize the number line and really move along it depending on whether you're adding and subtracting. Now let's do a couple of more. Let's say I have 2 minus 8. 2 minus 8. And we'll think about more ways to do this in future videos. But once again, you just want to do the number line. You have a 0 here. We're at, let me draw the spacing a little bit. So we have 0 here. We're at 1, 2. If we're subtracting 8, that means we're going to move 8 to the left. So we're going to go 1 to the left, 2 to the left. So we've gone 2 to the left to get to 0. We have to move how many more to the left? Well, we've already moved 2 to the left. To get to 8, we have to move 6 more to the left. So we're going to have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to the left. Well, where is that going to put us? Well, we were at 0. This is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. So 2 minus 8 is negative 6. You have to move 2 minus 2 would be 0 when you're subtracting.
All right. So we stop there, but you're going to continue and watch the rest of the video. After you watch the rest of the video, there's an article you're going to read and there are 2 assignments you're going to complete. These are all under the Khan Academy tab of clever.com. You're going to log in as a student using your student ID. You should be able to find Mr. Bradford's Brainiacs classroom, and Clever is inside of it. Don't just go to Clever on your own, but if you do, you still need to log into my class using your Clever ID, right? So this Khan Academy work is due by Friday at 11:59. 11:59. Now tomorrow, we're going to explore some more, doing some more number line activities. So we're going to be doing a number line for the next week or so. So it's going to be very interesting, very engaging. We're going to use Mobius for workbook pages, and we're going to use Clever a lot. I mean, we don't have workbooks. We don't have textbooks. So this is the way we do it. So it's going to require you being diligent. There's also going to be another video that you're going to watch today. Possibly not. I'm going to save that till tomorrow. So this is the only video you're watching today, the Khan Academy video, and then you're going to do the work in Khan Academy. It's 2 assignments and an article to read along with the video. So there are 4 things in the Khan Academy, but make sure you go to Khan Academy and do the assignments. Listen, I am so proud of you. We are getting ready to go in quickly and fast and hurriedly, but also intensely and efficiently and effectively. So you're going to become masters of this. This is just day 1. Don't let it blow your mind. Just think, everything to the right of 0 is positive. Everything to the left of 0 is negative. As far as you can go positive to the right, you can also go negative to the left. So if you can go 100 positive, you can go negative 100. If you can go 1,000 to the positive, you can go negative 1,000. There is no distance to the right that you can't also go to the left. All right? It has been an amazing class today. I am so excited about what's to come in this new unit. This unit is going to take us all the way to the end of the first quarter. So the end of October, middle of October. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. Get on this work, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.